Hello, it is Mac here, and today I'm going to talk about how Grand Theft Auto 5 is actually the best-selling game on Steam for 2015. Now, Steam Spy yesterday released some stats on, what were the best-selling games of 2015 from April to December. Now, if you don't know what Steam Spy is, it's sort of a Twitter account and also a website where they just released, Steam stats and stuff like that. I'll leave a link to their Twitter and their website in the description. But pretty much yesterday, they released a lot of stats on, what were best-selling games of Steam in 2015. Keep in mind that this is from April to December, so the first 3 months of this year do not count. So take this with sort of a grain of salt because it's not the full picture. Now I'll put the sales on your screen right now. So the best-selling games of 2015, and this counts, every single game that's on Steam, was actually Counter-Strike Global Offensive. And then it was Grand Theft Auto 5 at number 2, then Fallout 4 at number 3. Now, Grand Theft Auto 5 actually sold 3.5 million copies. So, that's a lot. That is a lot of copies. And I sort of want to talk about that because I was not expecting that. Now, one thing is that Grand Theft Auto 5 is actually the best-selling game on Steam of 2015, like of new releases 2015, because Counter-Strike Global Offensive is not really that new of a game anyways, and is also kind of cheap on Steam, so you could argue that's why it sold the most. But for new releases, or I guess you could argue that Grand Theft 5 isn't really that new, but at least, for Steam it was new because of the PC release. Now, you could also argue that, well, Fallout 4 is a new game, it just came out a little over a month ago, and it is gaining a lot of traction, so maybe it will overtake Grand Theft Auto 5 next year. But I was not expecting this because Grand Theft Auto 5 on PC is not only an older game, it came out almost 2 years after the first release on the Xbox 360 and PS3. But it also got so many delays that I thought, before PC came out, that a lot of people would have just forgotten about GTA 5. Because whenever at E3 2014, whenever they announced the next-gen release of GTA 5, a lot of people were hyped up for the PC release. Then they delayed it. Then they delayed it again until April. And I feel like a lot of people would have just forgotten about GTA 5 at that point. They would have just gone, you know what, I'm not going to pick up a game that's almost 2 years old just for PC. But that's not really how it worked. Grand Theft Auto 5 is a big game, especially on PC right now. And it sold a lot of copies. But it kind of shows you that even if the game got delayed multiple times, almost 2 years after the release, if it works, people will still buy it. Make your PC versions actually work. We saw a lot of games come out that don't even work on the PC. Namely, Batman Arkham Knight. Almost everybody on PC that bought the PC version said that it was a good port. Sure, there were a few problems on release. Sure, there are still hackers in online and stuff like that. But overall, a lot of people were really happy with their purchase, and I think that just kind of shows to any other game companies that to make your PC versions good, to not rush them out, to actually make them work, and not filled with bugs and stuff, because that doesn't get you anywhere on PC. Now, sure, it may get you somewhere in the console market and stuff like that. Delay the game if it doesn't work. And Rockstar has done that with the PC version of Grand Theft Auto 5. A lot of people were very hyped up for it, but then once they delayed it, they weren't as hyped up. But this just shows you that even a 2-year-old game can still sell well if it got delayed and if it actually works on PC. But I just wanted to talk about this. If you want to check out the other games that Steam Spy released, you can. I'll leave a link in the description. But they also do it for a lot of different countries. So if you want to check out the best sales for Russia or something like that, then you can do that. I will leave a link in the description. But let me know your thoughts on this. Are you surprised that Grand Theft Auto 5 on the PC is actually the best-selling new release of 2015 on Steam? Let me know that in the comments. Hope you enjoy. Feedback's always appreciated. I'll see you guys in the next video.